This is a reminder, Class Connect sessions are recorded and distributed for learning purposes that are listed here. As always, be respectful and participate, but please do not share personal information during class for your own security reasons. So here's what I want to know today. We are up here on the, to start off with our participation question. I want to know, how has your habit building been going? All right, hopefully you've been with us the past few days and we've been talking all about goals and habits and how to actually build those. Go ahead, tell me on the whiteboard, how's it been going? Have you had some successes? Have you had some challenges? How can you improve next week? You don't have to answer all of these, just a really quick blurb. Tell me, how has habit building been going this week? Awesome. Hi, Edwin. Hi, Ireland, Andrea, and Ethan. Good to see all of you. Again, go ahead on the whiteboard. Tell me, how has your habit building been going? I need to change this really quick. Looking good. Right, awesome. Getting some people working up there. I see arrow on the board. Let's get lots of participation. I see Ethan typing. Hi, Justin. Hi, Israel. Hi, Bree. Good to see all of you. Ethan, we only do the passwords in class. Were you in class yesterday? All right, looking good, everyone. Get your answers up there. Who else do I have up there? Looks like I've got Noah and Shoshana on the board as well. Okay, no worries, Ethan. Can you email? Actually, I think you already emailed me, right? I just haven't had a chance to answer it this morning. It's been a busy morning, but I will email you back as soon as we're done with class at around 2 o'clock. Okay, sound good? Perfect, perfect. No worries. All right, keep on going over, keep on writing your answers up on the board. I'm going to start going over some of our answers here. Arrow, you said, considering you've been procrastinating this on the download, not very good. Oh man, you're procrastinating on the habits that should help you not procrastinate, right? No worries, guys. It's always a little bit difficult to build up steam at the very beginning of habit building. It's totally normal. Remind yourself it's normal to sometimes have difficulties with these. So that's why we start small. So Arrow and everyone else, always think of what's something small I can change right now that's easy for me to change, and then we can always build up steam from there. Looks like Dolly, you're saying it's been going all right. Shoshana, you said it's been going well. Andrea, not as well. And then let's see here. Noah, you said you've started to eat better and you've seen some weight loss results. That's awesome. Looking good, assuming that's your goal, right? That's awesome, assuming that's your goal. Looking good, everyone. Okay, so again, we've been talking a lot about goals, habit building. Tomorrow, you're going to have an opportunity to fill out a discussion thread that goes over kind of everything we've been talking about. There's a little prompt that you will complete, and that will be your extra credit for this week. Besides our support sessions, which there are no more support sessions this week. So if you haven't gotten extra credit from support sessions this week, definitely make sure that you do tomorrow's extra credit so you can get some of that extra credit. Smiley faces, everyone, if you understand. Again, that'll be upcoming tomorrow, and I will be explaining that a little bit more in class tomorrow. Awesome. And then yes, Bree, you said you're going to work on improving next week. I love it. Perfect. All right, everyone. So we are in, no worries, Efren. We are in the April 18th attendance ticket. Please go ahead, open that up. The links are in the chat box. Remember, one will work, one won't, so try both. And then the password is there as well underneath the links. All right, so go ahead, open those up. Give me green checks if you've got it ready to go. I have 11 green checks so far. Looks like it's working for everyone. I just want to make sure no one's having issues. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Hi, Judy. Good to see you. Awesome. All right. Looking good. All right. So we are on day 5 of quarter number 4, and we are officially done with our first unit. Okay, so it's going by quickly. Remember, we have 11 units and only 9 weeks of quarter number 4. So it's going to fly by. You're not even going to know what hit you. So today we're going to do our first game day. As long as you participate in today's game and answer all the questions, you'll automatically get your 10 points for today. Now, if for some reason you're not participating today, or if in the future you ever miss a game day, it's totally fine. There's an alternative assignment that you can do, and when you finish the alternative assignment, that will give you your 10 points. Thumbs up if you understand. I know a lot of you are familiar with that, but there are some new students, so I want to go ahead and preface that for the new students, and I'll go over that more at the end of class as well. Yeah, we're going to play some Kahoot today. Love it. Yeah, Dolly, I will explain that as well. So you can also play in the chat, but I'll explain how that works. Okay, so quick reminder, sorry, this should not say today, this should say yesterday. Yesterday's 1C lab was due. Tell me in the chat box, how did we feel about it? Hopefully you've gotten a chance to start it or even finish it. Tell me in the chat box, how are we feeling about it? Yeah, all right, so Jade, not too bad. Arrow, you felt great about it. Efren, yes, what's your question? Let me know. I'll see if I can answer it right now, or I might need to email you back if it's a big question. But looking good, everyone. Okay, so that being said, that should encourage you. If you haven't done your lab already, make sure you get it done. It was technically due yesterday, but like all assignments, you can still turn them in and get full credit even if it's past the due date, okay? So it is worth an entire 29% of your current grade. So please make sure that you are getting that done. So Efren, supported means that your hypothesis was correct. So based on your data showed that your hypothesis was in fact correct. Because remember, your hypothesis is just a guess. So we're saying, was our guess right? If so, it's supported. If we see that your hypothesis was wrong compared to your results, then you would say that it was disproved. Okay, so supported means correct. Disproved means it was incorrect. Okay, let me know if that clarifies it. Let me know if you still need help on that. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so Efren, I believe the data should have shown that both of those were hopefully supported. If your data didn't show that, then something went a little bit wrong. Okay, so if you're having issues with that, let me know. Cool. All right. So unit number 1, we talked all about the nature of matter. So we learned how to classify matter. We learned a little bit about energy, and we talked a lot about viscosity in our lab yesterday, as well as we actually did our first lab. So we learned some lab skills. So today we're going to go ahead and play a Kahoot to kind of review all of unit 1. The reason we do this is because you have a midterm in about 3 weeks, and I want to make sure that we're reviewing as we go so that we are prepared for our midterm in 3 weeks. All right, so we want to really start to reinforce all of our learning as we are going. So here's what you're going to do. You are either going to go to kahoot.it, that's the website, kahoot.it, either on your phone or in a computer browser. Either one works. So you can go on your computer or you can go on your phone. You can also download the Kahoot app. So Kahoot app. Okay, thumbs up if that makes sense, everyone, especially my new students. If you get lost at any time, please let me know. I don't want to leave anyone behind. I don't want anyone to feel like I'm rushing too much. Okay? Awesome. So here we go. So that being said, when I show on the board, I'm going to show you a game pin that'll be up here. You're going to type in the game pin, okay? So, and then press enter. And then it's going to have a little changing pattern up on the board. This is just to make sure that nobody joins that shouldn't be joining the Kahoot app, because we've had issues with that in the past. So you'll see there's a pattern that shows up there, and it only shows up there for 7 seconds. So you got to type really quickly to match the pattern, okay? Then it's going to ask for your name. Please only enter your first name and your last initial. So for example, mine would be Brittany L. Okay, do not enter your full last name because we are recording this and we can't have last names on the recording. Okay, smiley faces if you understand that part. Okay, so enter the pin, match the pattern, first name, last initial, initial of last name. Okay, now here's the thing, guys. You don't have to get everything right, okay? I just want you to participate and try every question. Learning is all about making mistakes and then fixing our mistakes, okay? If we never made mistakes, then learning would be useless, right? So what you're going to do is you're just going to participate in every question. If you're not 100% sure, do your best guess. And as long as you're answering every question, you will get your full 10 points for today. Okay, give me a green check if you understand that. You just need to participate, just answer each question, and then you will get your credit for today. Awesome. Now, if you're only answering 1 or 2 questions in the game, you won't get your credit because I don't see that you're participating the entire time. Okay, if you miss 1 or 2 questions, not the end of the world. I know sometimes our computers or phones get a little bit wonky, so that's fine. Now, that being said, you're going to see a screen with all your names popping up. In order to play the Kahoot game, I need you to see your name on that board before we start. If you don't see your name on that board before we start, we're going to go ahead and have you play in a private chat because sometimes Kahoot does not score you correctly if you don't see your name on the starting screen. So if you're not seeing your name, you'll play in a private chat. If you also just want to play in a private chat just because, all you need to do is double click my name and send me a message, and that will open up a private chat. Or tell me in the chat box that you want a private chat, and we can help you out with that as well. Cool. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing this up on the whiteboard. Sorry, I know the instructions are a little bit long the first time we do it, just because we have new students. So thank you for being patient. Going to share this. All right, you should see my screen up here. I'm going to press play here. Looking good. I'm going to pause my video because I want to make sure everyone can see here. And then let's go ahead and start playing. Give it a moment to load. All right, so here is our pin for today, 255472. And I will tell you the pattern as it pops up here. So green, red, blue, yellow. Awesome. Blue, yellow, green, red. Good. Make sure your name is popping up here. Red, yellow, green, blue. Red, blue, yellow, green. No worries, Cash. Yellow, green, blue, red. Blue, green, yellow, red. We're going to get started in about 30 seconds or so. I've got about half of you logged in. If you need a private chat, please let me know right now. Efren, is this you? EB? Okay, good to know. Yeah, I'll tell you the colors one more time. Okay. Green, red, yellow, blue. Yeah, you got to click fast, click fast. Blue, green, yellow, red. It changes every 7 seconds. All right. Yep, Misael, give me one moment. Again, just make sure you play the entire time in the private chat then, okay? All right, anyone else need a private chat? All right, blue, yellow, red, green. Perfect, thank you, Misael. Okay, we're gonna get started in about 10 seconds. After I leave this screen, if you want to play, you will have to play in private chat. Okay, Dorian, I'll wait for your name to pop up then. All right. Green, red, blue, yellow. Yep, Israel, let me open a private chat for you. Here you go. All right, Dorian, I'm still not seeing you, so I'll give it another 10 seconds, and if not, we can have you play in the private chat, okay? Red, yellow, green, blue. And then last one, blue, green, red, yellow. All right, Dorian, I'm going to open a private chat for you, okay? So I have you play in the private chat. All right, here we go. I'm going to take a picture of these ones. Again, if your name's not up here, from here on out, you will need to play in the private chat, okay? Perfect. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Mr. Alch, if you can make sure that anyone that comes in late gets a private chat, just double-click their name and send a message to them. That would help. What percentage of your grade is attendance to live classes? Red, 40, blue, 15, yellow, 25, or green, 10? What percentage of your grade is attendance to live classes? Awesome. Thank you, Dorian. I see yours. Miss Sale, I see yours. Awesome, awesome. All right, looking good. All right, Jackie, I'm opening up a private chat for you. You can go ahead and play in the private chat. All right, awesome. Yes, attendance is 10% of your grade. Looking good. It is not 40%. That would be wild. You would definitely all be attending live classes for sure. No, it's actually just worth 10%. All right, looking good. Rosie, Jade, Jasmine, Ethan, and Elias on the whiteboard. Here we go. What are the two largest categories of assignments in this class? Red, quizzes and labs. Blue, attendance and exams. Yellow, attendance and Star 360. Or green, quizzes and exams. You have 20 more seconds. If you're not sure, just guess. Remember, you just have to participate to get credit for today. Awesome. Thank you, Misael. Dorian, make sure I get yours. Israel, make sure I get yours. Thank you, Israel. Dorian, waiting on you. 5 seconds. Thank you, Dorian. Awesome. Thank you, Dolly. Yes, it's going to be quizzes and labs. It is tempting to think quizzes and exams are the biggest categories, but that's actually not true. Exams are only worth 15%. Labs are actually worth 25%. All right, so let's go ahead and make sure that makes sense. Rozzy, Elias, Cash, Jasmine, and Michelle up on the board. Does this make sense? Let's take a look at this. So labs and quizzes together make up 65% of your grade. Attendance is 10%. Star is 10, and exams are 15. Red, no. Blue, it's starting to. Yellow, yes. Let me know if that makes sense. 15 seconds. Thank you, Dorian, in the private chat. 10 seconds. Thank you, Israel. Yes, labs are important, right, Ireland? Tell them. Tell your classmates. Okay, Andrea, do you want to play in a private chat? I'll open one up for you just in case. So you should see that pop up. Looking good. All right, everyone. Looking good. Oh, sorry. This is the same one. Let's see here. What is the most important tab on the course page? Red plan, blue content, yellow progress, or green grades? I hope all of you know this. It'll break my heart if you don't all know this. 20 seconds. I'm just kidding. Dorian, make sure you're in the private chat. Efren, make sure you're not putting answers in the chat. All right, I see Misael, Andrea's answer, Israel's answers. Good. No worries, Dorian. 5 seconds. All right, yes, it is the grades tab. It is, in fact, the grades tab. Remember, what is the thing, what things are in the grades tab? Tell me in the chat box. What things are in the grades tab in the room chat? What things do you see? You see, most importantly, you see the links to your assignments, right? So we've got the links to the assignments as well as the links to what? Links to what else? Not just the assignments, but also really important, what helps you do your assignments correctly. Yes, labs are. Yes, the recordings. Remember, the recordings go over all the stuff you need to get 100% on your quiz and 100% on your labs. All right, so your grades tab, you got to go there every day. Rozzy, Cash, Jade, Jasmine, and Michelle rocking it on the whiteboard. Does this make sense? Gradebook gets updated with your grades as well as links to the assignments and recordings. It's your one-stop shop. All right? Let me know if that makes sense. 20 seconds. Red, it's starting to. Blue, yes. Yellow, no. 10 seconds, everyone. Dorian, go ahead. Go back to your private chat. All right. Efren, you're playing on the game, right? You don't need to answer in the chat box unless you're in the game. Okay? Yeah, if you need me to open a private chat for you, please let me know. Awesome. Okay, looking good, looking good. All right, so again, everything's in your grades tab, all right? At the top of your course page, your grades tab is right there. That's where I put everything. You literally do not need to know how to use your content tab. You don't really need to know how to use your plan tab. If you know how to use your grades tab, you will be successful in my course, okay? Awesome, everyone. Let's go ahead and keep on going. The definition, smallest unit of complete matter. What is the term? If this definition is the smallest unit of complete matter, what is the term? Red molecule, blue matter, yellow element, green atom. What is the smallest complete unit of matter? Awesome. I see Dorian, Justin in the chat box. Thanks for joining us, Justin. Andrea, Misael, looking good. Israel, make sure I get yours. Looking good. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Israel. All right, it's actually the atom. Remember, molecules are made up of multiple atoms, so those wouldn't be the smallest thing, okay? So molecules are made up of 2 or more atoms linked together, so that would not be the smallest one. And an element is just a bunch of the same type of atoms, right? So it's like 100 gold atoms. But an atom is just a single small unit of matter. Smiley faces if that makes sense. Smiley faces if that makes sense. Looking good. Rozzy, Jade, Arrow on the board, Jasmine, Michelle, 8 players on an answer streak. Here's our next definition. It cannot be broken down into a different substance. For example, gold. What is the term? Red matter, blue element, yellow atom, green molecule. What is something that can't get broken down into a different substance? Even if you keep on trying to divide it in half, and half, and half, and half, it's still the same thing. Awesome. Thank you. I see Jackie, Andrea in the chat box. Dorian, thank you. Misael, Justin, Dolly in the private chat. Love it. Thank you. 3 seconds. There we go. Yes, it's actually an element, okay? So remember, elements are made up of the same type of atoms, right? So the element of gold is just made up of a bunch of gold atoms. So if you keep on trying to break down this element into smaller and smaller pieces, you're just going to be getting more and more gold atoms. Thumbs up if that makes sense. Thumbs up if that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show this to you in a few moments, but I want to make sure we're starting to understand that. Cool. All right, everyone. Rozzy, Arrow, Jasmine, Jade, Michelle on the board. Damien is the highest climber. Way to go. Keep on working. Does this make sense? Okay, matter, anything that is made of atoms and has mass. An atom is the smallest single unit of complete matter. Molecule is 2 or more atoms being bonded together. And an element is when you can't break it down into something different. It's as simple as it can be. Red, yes. Blue, no. Yellow, it's starting to make sense. 10 seconds, everyone. Thank you, private chat people, for participating. Love it. Thank you. Hydri, welcome to class. I'm going to open up a private chat for you. If you want to play in our game, go ahead, play in the private chat. Looking good. All right, everyone. Love it. Okay. Substances that can be separated physically are pure substances or mixtures. If we can separate them physically, are they considered pure substances or mixtures? If you can physically take apart the different components. Awesome. Cool. All right, yeah, Dree, play in that private chat so that you get your credit for today. 10 seconds, everyone. Get your answers in the private chat. Thank you, Jackie. Yes, these are actually mixtures. Remember, pure substances, you cannot physically tear them apart, for example, into something different. That's why they're considered pure. Okay, so mixtures, on the other hand, there are physical processes that we can actually take out certain parts. They can be separated. Okay, Rozzy, Arrow, Jade, Michelle, Jasmine on the board. Miguel is the highest climber. Here we go. Does this make sense? Let's take a look at this. So mixtures, we can physically separate them, right? We could crush a rock to take out the minerals. We could shred wood to take out the different parts. We could evaporate water from salt to take out the different parts. Red, it's starting to. Blue, no. Yellow, yes. Dree, if you just participate right now, you won't need to do the alternative assignment. As long as you're participating for the rest of the game, you should be fine. Okay? Let me know if that makes sense. All right. Perfect. Here we go. Copper is an example of a pure red element, blue compound. Think about this. Can copper be broken down into anything simpler? Okay, one of these is for the simplest type. One of them is if it can be broken down into something simpler. Okay. 15 seconds. Copper is an example of a pure what? Red element, blue compound. 10 seconds. Private chat people, make sure I get your answers. All right, Oscar, I'm opening up a private chat for you so that you can play the game. All right, play there and you'll get your credit for today. All right, it's actually an element. Remember, element I just said is a bunch of the same type of atoms. So copper is a single type of atom. It's not made up of multiple things, like, for example, water. What 2 things is water made up of? Tell me in the chat. What 2 things is water made up of? Yeah, hydrogens, 2 hydrogens, and what else? And 1 oxygen, exactly. So that being said, water can chemically be broken down into 2 different things, hydrogen and oxygen. Copper, though, is as simple as copper is going to be. Copper can't be broken down chemically into anything else but copper. So that's why it's considered an element. Smiley faces if that makes sense. Rozzy, Arrow, Jade, Michelle, Jasmine on the board. Tony back in the game. Awesome. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so pure substances, we can't separate them physically. That's why they're considered pure. But if you can break it down chemically, it's called a compound. If you can't break it down chemically, it's called an element. Okay, both of them are still considered pure, though, because you can't physically separate them. You can't physically tear hydrogen from oxygen in water. 10 seconds. Red, it's starting to. Blue, yes. Yellow, no. Awesome. All right. A cookie is an example of a pure compound red, Blue heterogeneous mixture, yellow homogeneous mixture, or green a pure element. What is a cookie an example of? Awesome. Dolly, thank you. Justin, Misael. Jackie, thank you. Israel, thank you. I see yours. Andrea, perfect. Thank you, Dorian. This is actually going to be a heterogeneous mixture. Think about it. When you look at a cookie, are the different parts of a cookie the same or different? Think about the outside of a cookie versus the inside of a cookie versus the top versus the bottom. Do they look different or do they look the same? Tell me in the chat box. Oh no, Ireland. It's okay. Everyone in the chat box, do the different parts of a cookie look the same or different? Remember, even if someone answered, you can still answer because that's going to reinforce your own learning. Yeah, they're all different. And remind me again, which prefix here means different, homo or hetero? Which prefix here means different, homo or hetero? Means different, different. Yes, hetero. Hetero means different, guys, right? That's why it's called a heterogeneous mixture, because hetero means different. Each part looks different. Smiley faces if that's starting to make sense. I know, they're very similar terms. That's why we're practicing. Exactly, Dolly. I know, they're so similar. That's why lots and lots of practice for it. Awesome. Rozzy, Arrow, Jade, Michelle, Jasmine on the board. Sugar, C6H12O6, is an example of a red pure compound, blue homogeneous mixture, yellow pure element, or green heterogeneous mixture. Remember, pure things we can't separate physically, mixtures we can, right? Think about, could you physically break apart sugar into something different? And then think to yourself, what does that mean? Awesome. No worries, Efren, that's why we're reviewing. We will go over it. All right, everyone. Yes, sugar is a pure compound. Let's think about this, everyone. So sugar, can we break it down physically into something different than sugar? Can I start cutting sugars in half and change them into anything but sugar? No worries, Israel. I totally understand. Can we break sugar down physically into something different? Oh, no worries, Jackie. Do you need me to open it up again? Here, I'll open it again. Here you go. Should open up for you again. No, you can't. All right? Sugar, you cannot physically try to divide it into something different than sugar. It's just not physically possible. But chemically, is it made up of different chemicals bonded together? Okay, tell me in the chat box. C6H12O6, are those different chemicals being bonded together? Different atoms being bonded together? Yes or no? Yes, they are. This is actually carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So it's 3 different types of atoms all being put together and bonded together. So that means it's definitely a compound because it's not as simple as it could be, right? A pure element would just be pure carbon or pure hydrogen or pure oxygen. Smiley faces if that's beginning to make sense. Again, a compound's made up of many types of atoms put together. An element is just a single type of atom. Okay? Don't worry, Efren, we're going to go really in depth with this throughout the quarter. So even if you're starting to, as long as you're starting to get these terms in your head, it will make more sense as we continue throughout the quarter. That's what learning is all about. Awesome. Okay. Rozzy, Arrow, Jade, Jody, and Jasmine on the board. 3 players on an answer streak. Now salt water. Salt water is an example of a pure element, pure compound, homogeneous mixture, or heterogeneous mixture. Salt water. Think about, is there a physical process that can separate out the salt from water? If so, it must be a mixture. If not, it must be pure. Think about, can it physically be separated? 10 seconds, everyone. Okay, thank you, Ireland, for letting me know. Take care. Take care of yourself. All right, this is a difficult one. I know, salt water is a super difficult one. Tell me in the chat box, is there a physical process that can separate salt from water? Is there a physical process that can separate salt from water? Yes, there is. And what is that physical process? Hey, Jess, I'm going to open up a private chat for you. If you want to get your credit for today, you need to play in the private chat. Yes, exactly. We did it in Class Connect. Okay, Letty, sometimes that's just an error with Kahoot. As long as you're answering though, that's okay, okay? I'll keep track of it after when I look at the report, okay? As long as you're answering the questions, you'll still get your credit. I know that's annoying. It's just an error with Kahoot. All right, yes. So you can physically separate salt from water by boiling the water. Okay, so you can boil the water. What's left behind is the salt. Okay, smiley faces if that makes sense so far. So this must be a type of mixture because you can physically separate salt from water. Hi, Andres. I'm going to open up a private chat for you so you can play our game with us. Okay. Awesome, awesome. Give me smiley faces if that makes sense. Now, whether or not it's homogeneous or heterogeneous has to do with looking at the different parts of it. So think about a cup of salt water. Does the top layer of salt water look the same as the bottom layer, look the same as the left side versus the right side? Tell me in the chat box. Do the different parts of salt water, do they all look the same or different? If you were to take a sample from the top, take a sample from the bottom, they all look the same, right? And remember homo, our previous here homo means the same, so it must be a same mixture, a homogeneous mixture. Okay, does that make a little bit more sense, Efren? And then everyone else give me a smiley face if you're starting to understand that. Okay, no worries. Thank you, Andres, for letting me know. Perfect. All right, everyone. Let's keep on going. Does this make sense? Let's take a look at this. All right, so homogeneous mixtures are physical, but they look the same throughout, like salt water. Heterogeneous mixtures are also physical, but they look different throughout, like a cookie. Pure compounds like copper and sugar can't be separated physically, but if they're as simple as they can be, it's an element. If they're a little bit more complex, it's a compound. All right, red, it's starting to. Blue, yes. Yellow, no. How are you feeling about this? Difficult topic. Looking good. All right. Conservation of matter and energy states that the amount of matter and energy in the universe, red increases, blue stays the same, or yellow decreases. They should say conservation, not conversation. I think that was an autocorrect error. Conservation of matter and energy states the total amount of matter and energy in the universe, what? Red increases, blue stays the same, or yellow decreases? Awesome. I see Dolly's answer. Looking good. See Andres's answer. Jackie, thank you. Israel, Justin. It stays the same, okay? The word conservation, to conserve, means to try to keep it the same, okay? That's why, like, when someone says conservation efforts, what they're talking about is they're trying to keep nature the same. They're trying to conserve nature, keep it from changing into something worse. Smiley faces, if that kind of makes sense. So conservation, you should think of it's trying to stay the same, okay? So the total amount of matter, the stuff, and the total amount of energy in the universe will always stay the same, okay? Even though it can change forms, right? Matter can change in, right? We can get different arrangements of molecules. Energy can change, right? It can go from light energy to heat energy, for example, but the total amount, if you were to add it all up together, would still stay the same, okay? All right, Rosie, Arrow, Jody, Jade, Mr. Alch on the whiteboard. Does this make sense? Here we go. All right, so matter and energy, you can't magically make new energy. You can't magically delete energy. It can change forms, but there will never be an increase or decrease in the total amount. The total amount in the universe is fixed. It will always stay the same. 15 seconds, red, no, blue, it's starting to, yellow, yes. 10 seconds, everyone. 3, 2, 1. Love it. Chemical changes, chemical changes. Tell me about those. Do they not create new substances, or do they do create new substances? Chemical changes, red, do not create new substances. Blue, create new substances. Okay, what do chemical changes mean? You got a 50-50 chance, everyone. Miss Sale, awesome. Dolly, Andres, I see your answers. Thank you. Andrea, thank you for your answer. 5 seconds, everyone. 3, 2, 1. Yes, chemical changes mean that you do create new substances, right? So A chemical change means that the chemicals change at the end of the process. So you might start off with hydrogen and oxygen, and by the end, when they are lit on fire together, you'll get something new. You'll get H2O or water. Smiley faces if that makes sense. It's creating something different, chemically different. The actual atoms are changing their identities. Cool. All right, Rozzy, Arrow, Jody, Jade, Mr. Alch on the board. What is an example of a physical change? What about a physical change? Red, freezing water. Blue, lighting a match on fire. Which of these would be just a physical change? Right? If chemical means we create something new, what must physical be? Awesome, Andrea, I see your answer. 15 seconds, everyone. Dolly, thank you. There we go. Miss Sale, thank you. I see all your answers in the private chat. Thank you, Jess. Just wait till the end because we haven't really done anything with the attendance ticket yet. All right, thank you. All right, yes, freezing water is going to be a physical change because remember, when you freeze water, is it still H2O? Tell me in the chat box. Is frozen water or ice, is it still H2O? Yes, it is. So has it chemically changed identities? No, therefore it just must be a physical change. Okay, it's still chemically H2O. Smiley faces if you understand. Smiley faces if you're beginning to understand that. Excellent. All right. Matt is back in the game. Does this make sense? Let's take a look at this. Again, chemical changes like lighting a match on fire make something new. The actual chemicals at the end are different. Physical changes like freezing water keep the same substance. It's still the same chemicals. Red, yes. Blue, no. Yellow, it's starting to. Yeah, Cash, give me 1 second. Here you go. 10 seconds, everyone. All right, loving it. Here is our last question, second to last question. A fluid with a high viscosity will, reds flow slowly, blue flow quickly. With high viscosity, Think about another word that means viscosity, starts with a T, TH. That should help you remember this. High viscosity, is it going to flow slowly or flow quickly? 13 seconds. Dolly, are you in the private chat? Something going on? Cash, go to your private chat. It's going to flow slowly. Remind me again, what's another word for viscosity? What's another word for viscosity? No worries, Cash, it happens. What's another word for viscosity? Yeah, how thick, the thickness of a fluid. So high viscosity means lots of thick fluid, like, for example, what maple syrup or what something else, honey have high viscosities, and so they're going to flow more slowly. Smiley faces if you understand. High viscosity, another way to think of it is high thickness of a fluid. Awesome. Arrow taking the lead. Arrow, Rozzy, Jody, Jade, Mr. Alch on the board. Viscosity is what? I think I just gave you the answer. Oh no, red, is it a physical property or blue a chemical property? Think back to yesterday. We changed the viscosity of honey by using temperature, but did it change its identity? Okay, think about if it changed its identity, right? Think about physical properties versus chemicals. Dorian, make sure you're in the private chat. 7 seconds. No, Efren. All right, it's actually a physical property. Think about this. Hot honey versus cold honey. Is it the same chemical? Is it still chemically honey? Hot honey versus cold honey. Yeah, they're still the same. So even though we're changing their viscosity, it's still going to be the same honey, and therefore it's just a physical property, not a chemical one. Awesome. Let's take a look at our leaderboard here. Oh, sorry. I'm going to go ahead and actually skip this one. All right. Let's take a look here. Arrow, Rozzy, Jade on the board. We also had Jody and Mr. Alch on the board. Go ahead, give them a round of applause. Great job, everyone, on that. I'm going to go ahead and download this really quick. And That's fine. All right, guys, I'm going to remind you again, if you weren't on the dashboard at the start, I can't guarantee that the Kahoot result worked correctly. So you should have seen your name at the beginning of our Kahoot game. If you were in the private chat, you guys know who you are. You will get your credit for today, okay? All right, so if you did not participate completely today, if you only answered like one question, or if for some reason you didn't make it into the game, you will need to complete the alternative assignment, which will open up at 2 o'clock after I've entered the grades for everyone who did participate. Okay, smiley faces if that makes sense. You only have to do the alternative if you did not participate today. Only have to do the alternative if you did not participate. Awesome, everyone. Here's your last word for your attendance ticket. Here's your attendance ticket one more time in the chat box. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.